Hey everyone, Jason Owens here for Campaign Sauce. One of the most popular questions I get is, what exactly do you guys do at Campaign Sauce? How can you help my business? I put together this very quick video for you. It's going to tell you quite a bit about how Campaign Sauce can help you. In fact, you can actually think of these as like 30-second case studies, right? Examples of how we've helped other people, and just gives you an idea of the scope of services we have. Now, often you're going to see that these instances, these examples, have a lot more to do with culture than they have to do with software. So let's dive right in. All right, in the very first example here, we established a culture of online lead generation for a business-to-business client. Now, you might ask yourself, well, Jason, what in the world does that have to do with culture? Well, in this particular instance, this is a business that's very well established, and they do not have any history of doing online leads. In fact, their entire world was based around going to trade shows. So this particular company would do something like 20 different trade shows a year, and they would end up with 2, maybe 3 really good sales leads out of each one of those trade shows. So just developing leads online just was not a category for them. So being able to walk them through that and then show them positive ROAS, well over a 3.0 ROAS on online leads, that was a fun project, but it had a lot more to do with culture than it did the software. Okay, next one. I enabled a website-based chat tool. So you've seen these all over the place, right? So again, this particular company that I worked with, again, they had an online site. The site looked really good. They had all kinds of organic traffic to it, but they didn't have online chat. Well, whenever we turned on online chat, to our delight and surprise, as we continued driving traffic to this using some Google Ads, people coming into the site were interacting with that chat tool. They had very high purchase intent. In fact, if they were on there not looking for a job, but literally going in there to ask questions about the product, we had an 80% close rate for folks who were coming in and interacting with us on the chat. So that was a dynamite implementation and very profitable. Okay, on another company here, we converted them from Infusionsoft. If you're familiar with that, it's more for online marketers, but due to a long story, they had a CRM that just wasn't working for them as a business. Converted them over to Salesforce, and the sales team loved it. There was a lot of data that, of course, we saved from the old system, moved to the new system, and the sales reps felt like finally we have a grown-up CRM to work with. We don't have to deal with a CRM that doesn't fit us or fit this business. So that was good, and it was fun to watch the sales team react to that positively. Okay. Another instance here. So this is a company, again, that was not super invested in webinars. That was just not really a category for them. And, that just doesn't really work here, okay? So there was just a lot more focus here on developing culture with the reps who had never run a webinar. I don't want to be on camera. I don't know that I like doing this. I don't know how to set it up. What do I say? Okay, so walking through all of those concerns and getting the sales reps to a point where they were comfortable. Again, taking turns each month. We had another rep coming in, again, round robin, right? So we had people going in there, setting up that system and showing people how to sell by webinar. Again, not pushy, just simply doing consultative-based sales. Hey, listen, what kind of problems do you have? Oh, well, if I had that problem, I would probably solve it like this. Those kinds of interactions in a webinar, they do great. They do great. So that was, again, another fun project to work on. Ministry. Love working with ministries. I did help a ministry launch a new podcast. I've got another example here down on the bottom that I'll show you here lower in the slide deck. But yeah, just again, simple walking out there, helping people just get the word out about what they do and what their projects are. It's fun, and I enjoy doing that. Okay, email marketing. Goodness sakes. Again, another example of culture here. So in this particular case, email doesn't work for us. Email doesn't work. That doesn't work in this industry. Okay, I get a lot of that about whatever the thing is. Oh, that's not going to work for us. Well, that's strange because it's working really well for your competitors. So why don't you just give it a try? And anyways, worked with these folks, ended up doing just a periodic monthly newsletter. Okay, something just as basic as a monthly outreach to people who are already clients. Okay, what was very intriguing about this was, oh my gosh, Jason, can you believe it? When we send out these emails, people are saying, hey, I was just thinking about you. I need to place another order. Okay. Imagine that. All right. So yeah, instituting an email culture was very big and very profitable for that particular client. Okay. Another time, we had some sales reps. This was a very interesting case where we had a lot of reps who were older in the company, and then we had a couple brand new, kind of the young guns coming in. And what are the young guns looking for? They're looking for, man, what do I need to do to get promoted? I want to make more money, want to earn more, want to have more clout. So we ended up creating this tiered structure rather than just, hey, let's just start giving you more money. Well, no, let's go ahead and get a little bit more structure here. So we ended up doing job designs. Okay, so we had a sales rep 1 all the way up to sales rep 4. Sales rep 1, those were the folks who were just kind of doing the introductory, the new sales, the basic sales, easier sales. Then we had all the way up to sales rep 4. Those were people who've been in the business for 10, 15, 20 years. They're used to selling more in an enterprise type environment, right? So more complex, longer term sales process, so that kind of thing. Anyway, so we ended up creating, you guys have probably heard the term dual ladder, right? So we created that. So if you wanted to go into management, this is what your path would look like. If you want to be a better and better sales rep, right, we had another path for you. So that's what the path would look like. So we created that, tied compensation to it, tied promotion criteria to it, and worked out to be very, very effective for that sales team. All right, introducing a new product to the market using an on-the-ground sales team. Okay, so we were selling a product into the specialty grocer market, right? So if you think about specialty cheese importers, wine stores, that kind of thing. So we had a specialty product that we were selling. It's a consumer packaged goods product. And we had no idea how the market was going to respond to it. They could laugh it off. They could buy it like crazy. So we ended up putting together a sales team, and we're up here in a mountain town. We went down the hill, as they say here. So we went down the hill, up and down the Front Range, and basically we just set up our list of where we wanted to go, did a little bit of prospecting on the computer, so to speak. So we formed up our list and then went down, and it was just good old-fashioned door-to-door sales, walking in, talking to owners of business, asking people behind the counter, hey, listen, how do we get a new product into your store? So again, that was a ton of fun. We really enjoyed it and had great progress for that company. Another project. So you saw earlier that I said that we installed and rolled out Salesforce. In this particular case, we installed and rolled out HubSpot CRM. And we did a really good job with this, where we brought the owner in at first. We did a little bit of a company video, shot the video, and basically announcing, hey, listen, guys, I'm the owner. I'm in support of this, and we're getting ready to roll this out. So just having a little bit of an introduction like that from the owner really helps with the buy-in down the line, right? So you have to have the owner, right? You tie it in at the top of the organization, you tie it in at the bottom of the organization, and that usually provides for a much smoother rollout. So anyways, that was the HubSpot piece, and we had a ball with it, and the company is making great money with it. Here's another consumer packaged goods example. We did an online store, created an online store, ended up running some tests, ended up gathering testimonials. We set this all up so that we could sell product. Again, we're selling samples of this product. We're shipping it out. And the whole idea here is that we want to get testimonials. Okay, can we get testimonials? First off, is anybody even going to bother clicking through from the ad to come into this product? Of the people who click through, is anybody going to end up buying this thing, right? Okay, I mean, there's 1,000 other products just like it. You can get it much quicker just going down to the corner store. So why bother going through all the hoopla of getting it online? Well, what was really interesting about this is that we found, this product did have the demand. It was just different enough that people were willing to give it a try. And once they gave it a try, we ended up getting great reviews out of it. So that ended up being a really, really positive feather in the cap for this company, that we were able then to go to investors and say, hey, listen, we have great product feedback. We have great market feedback based upon real life, honest to goodness customers out there. And, let's talk a little bit about funding, right? So it was just a really, really good plan for that company. Had a ball with it. Okay. Created a new sales rep hiring process for a B2B sales agency. So this particular company, again, had been around for a while, and they had always hired from, well, I know somebody who knows somebody. Okay, and there's a time and place for that, but they really wanted to up their game. They wanted to up level what they were doing. So they didn't really have a process. So we put the process together from front to back, everything from where to go ahead and advertise these jobs, what the job design needs to look like, what the job posting needs to look like, how we're going to list that, how we're going to get the word out, what the interview questions need to be. We had an entire scoring matrix. Rubric, I'm sorry. So we had an entire scoring rubric. Depending upon how people answered questions, we would grade them. I think it was a scale of 0 to 4 in that case. And, from there, we would end up determining who got to go on to the second round, right? So anyway, just a really, really fun process there for that company. And they felt like you could just feel a little bit of the vibe in the room from the management team was, okay, we're not just a bunch of people who are kind of hacking this together. This feels the way it used to feel when I used to work at corporate America, right? Now this place that we're working at today feels a little bit more grown up. So that was fun. That was really fun to watch. Okay, so I mentioned before I'd have another ministry example. Worked with the ministry to help them increase their online giving. Okay, so they were using, to make a long story short here, they had a tool that they were using for online giving. Wasn't really the best implementation of how to do online giving, so we moved them off of the old platform, put them onto a new platform, and that helped a lot. So it helped a lot with the ease of use, right? It helped a lot with trust because people didn't really trust the old platform because it looked a little kind of clunked together. So people trusted the new platform. They had seen things like it somewhere else, and that makes all the difference, right? So people are comfortable with it, and giving increased as a result. Not only just one-time giving, but monthly giving as well. All right. Created and launched a direct-to-consumer website that generates over $1 million in sales. This was a very extensive website development project. I do not hang my hat as, hey, I'm your website guy. I do websites as part of your overall process of all of your sales that you do. So in this case, working on this site and launching it, the pre-existing site was on one platform called Wix. We weren't really using the online store portion of Wix. So we moved off of Wix, moved everything over to WordPress, which gave us access to the entire universe of WordPress plugins. And we've just had a ball with it. So it's been fun watching the site come online. It's been fun watching the purchases flow through. And I'll tell you what, it's been a lot of work, but it's been very rewarding. Okay, so that's it, folks. That's a very quick example of just the body of work that we have here at Campaign Sauce. And I would love to have you. I'm doing my call to action now. So I'm asking you, reach out to me, reach out to us today. And you can see the email there, jason@campaignsauce.com. And would love to hear from you, would love to help you and your business grow your revenue and grow your people. All right, take care.